Hey guys, I'm going to show you a raised shoulder flexion. So this is for working your shoulder through its flexion range and stretching the tissue on this side. Don't do this unless you have good range in your internal and external rotation. So we always do that first and then we go into flexion. If you've got some decent range there, then working on your shoulder flexion is a good idea. And this is really good for people who have restrictions in flexion, for like overhead activities, if you want to do pull-ups, etc., or just restrictions in that range. Okay, so you're going to set up using a bench, box, table. You can do it standing, whatever. You cannot either do it, I'm going to be kneeling, but you could be standing, so whatever works for you guys. So you're going to then have your elbows on something flat. So I'm going to use this bench. We're going to have our arms relaxed, and we're going to then come down to the end range of whatever our tissue allows. And I'm going to pop this arm off, you'd keep both of them up. But what we're looking for is this tissue stretching, and we're going to drive it down towards the floor. So if you have both of them, this allows you to kind of sink down and get that stretch through that tissue. You can also do it flat on the floor. It just works a bit better being raised, okay? So my hands are nice and relaxed here. I'm going to hold this passive stretch for about 2 minutes. So we want to always sit into our stretch for 2 minutes, let the tissue relax. I'm going to skip ahead now, so you do 2 minutes on your own, and we're going to then do 2 contractions. So now let's just say I've done 2 minute nice passive stretch. We're then going to do a contraction of the tissue we're stretching, and pull my hand down again, which is this tissue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive my elbow into the box or table, whatever you're using. I'm driving, so you'd be doing both at the same time. Start driving down, ramping that up to your greatest, safest effort. We're not moving, it's isometric, it's non-moving contraction. Hold that for 10 seconds, 10 to 15. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Now your rails is like you're gonna try and lift your elbow up towards the ceiling. That won't happen, but what you will feel is contraction on the back side here of the shoulder. So as you do it, really try and reach your elbow up. Squeeze, try and reach them up towards the sky. So you should feel the back of your shoulder, back, your upper back, working, hold. Hold that again for 10, 15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, we've done our contraction, our passive stretch, and then our 2 contractions. We're going to sink further towards the floor. And when we do that, we're getting further stretch through this tissue. So you're sinking towards the floor. And then you repeat that. So you're going to do our stretch of this tissue into your box. You're going to hold that for 2 minutes. Then we're going to do your Pails, which is we're driving our elbows down, holding that up, ramping up to your greatest, safest for 10-15 seconds. Then our elbows are going to try and lift off using the tissue on the back side here, holding for 10 to 15 seconds. Then you go further into your stretch, and then you hold for about a minute in the second and third and subsequent rounds. You hold that passive stretch for a minute, do your contractions again, and you keep repeating until you're at the end range or you're exhausted, whichever. I would recommend maybe 2 or 3 reps. You could work up to a 4 or 5 at most. Really, your tissue doesn't need more than that. So 2 minute passive stretch, contract elbows down, contract elbows up, find the new end range, hold for a 1 minute passive stretch, and then repeat the contractions and keep going. That's for shoulder flexion.